He always got to the transit center extra early and was always first in line, and that morning wasn't any different. Ain't it the Bible that said the first shall come last and the last shall come first? Yeah, I'm here to call bullshit on that one. First came first and last came last, no matter how you spin that wobbly wheel, my friend. Anyhow, the guy with the limp was first in line that morning, and so he was a shoo-in, no pun intended, for one of the corner spots, which left me with a 1 in 3 chance. That is, until I surveyed who was second in line, which once again caused my odds to take a nosedive, let me tell you. Standing eye level with the tall sign that listed all of lucky old Bay No. 7's bus routes was Goliath. Of course, his name wasn't really Goliath. Well, I guess it could have been, but the point is I didn't know his name, or the names of any of the other riders, for that matter, even though I'd commuted with many of them for years. Regardless, I think Goliath was a regular on another schedule because I only saw him every once in a while. No matter. He stuck out like a giant sore thumb. Having been bald as a baby, pale as a ghost, and toothpicking in at, guess, just under 7 feet tall. At that time, I was 6'4", which usually made me the tallest guy in a room, but not with Goliath around, it didn't. No way, no how. And I knew for a fact that he was privy to the luxury of the corner seats because he'd beat me to the punch on a couple of occasions in the past. So I knew right then and there that I was shit out of luck. With Gimpy and Goliath ahead of me in line, I essentially had a 0 chance at being able to prop my leg up and stretch it out for the hour-plus ride into Seattle. It's mute as a mute, but the third person in line, the person right in front of me, well, she was not a seat threat. She was a regular lady in her early 50s, if I had to guess. And for those of you smartasses out there, by regular, I don't mean her bowel habits. I mean her regular attendance as a fellow rider. Anyway, she always sat in one of the forward-facing seats in the middle of the bus. Smiley is what I named her. Oh, I guess a couple of years before then. Always smiling, this one was. I don't recall ever seeing her and thinking that she was having a bad day. In fact, I used to look at her and wonder how she did it. I mean, not all of her mornings could have been good. I don't know. I guess it just came down to attitude, which is one of my many regrets, not having the right attitude. My wife usually had the right attitude, except when mine would rub off on her, which looking back was too often. She was an angel, my wife, and I'm sure she still is, but I can't dwell on her because I'll get all choked up, and that just adds to the pain, which is probably the point, I suppose. So, that morning the express was on time, as usual. They were actually good at keeping schedules. The bus drivers, I mean. Schedules were serious business to them, you could tell. Gimpy kicked off the loading, and we all filed in one by one. As expected, Smiley took a regular seat in the middle of the bus, and then I watched ahead of me as Gimpy and Goliath took the best seats in the house, just as I knew they would. I resolved to take one of the consolation bench seats just adjacent to the premiums that faced center. I took a risk in doing so because if the bus completely filled up, then the bench seats would be absolutely miserable. But the upside, and the reason I rolled the proverbial dice, was that at least I'd be able to stretch out my legs once we got going. Not too far of a stretch, else I'd be playing footsies with whomever was sitting across from me, unless I'd get lucky and nobody would sit there. But of course I didn't get lucky because a young kid I didn't recognize sat across from me. I remember him clearly because he reeked of pot. I mean, you expected it once in a while in Seattle, but man, he smelled like he took a shower in it, and not the good stuff either. I was by no means an expert, but he smelled like a damn skunk, so I assume it was the cheap variety. I had no use for the stuff myself. I preferred Jack Daniels as my go-to. I did try the wacky weed once, but it didn't do squat for me except make me want to eat damn near everything in sight, and I didn't need any more help in that department, if you know what I mean. Boy, howdy, food. I do miss delicious, fattening food. Honey buns and chocolate milk. I can almost taste the two now. Oh, what I'd give for a bite and a swallow. It's moot as a mute. No sense in pondering, although it's hard not.